Hi everyone, welcome to day 61 of my daily challenge, which is to train and learn. Today is Friday the 4th of March 2022. The training so far has been a 5k pretty quick jog around the block. I was actually feeling pretty good today and going to finish off with 100 burpees shortly. The thought for the day just quickly is about how much control do you need? And it's related to things that I've done in the past with selection courses that I've been participating in, and lots of things that I've seen other people do, and we all make mistakes and try and control things that are uncontrollable, but it's also related to what's going on in the world at the moment. So there's pandemics, there's wars starting, there's all sorts of tragedies going on around the world, and the people that kind of, you can get really tied up and down and caught up in it all if you have that natural tendency to try and want to control everything. There's a lot going on in our environment that we can't control, and it's bigger than us. It goes back to span of control. What can we control? But I'm going to put snippets on of a podcast I did recently. It's called the Epich Aotearoa Podcasts, run by Joe and Brian, great guys. Joe's ex-Australian SAS, and a lot of it's to do with ex-military and some ex-police and things like that. But it's about just a bit of humour, but about the selection course that I did many years ago for the Tactical Response Group, and things that are out of your control. Just consider that people that were on the selection course with me that tried to control everything and couldn't handle things going wrong, they dropped off pretty quick. Things got to them, they imploded, and that was the end of them. People that could go with it and work with what they've got, basically. You'll hear the story in a second, but if you're dealt certain cards, they're not ideal, they're not what you had planned, and that happens a lot on selection courses. You can't control it, something goes wrong, the mindset for me is, well, that's the card I've been dealt, that's what I've got to work with, so I'll start from there, rather than trying to get frustrated about why haven't I got the ideal situation I'd hoped for. This is what I've got to work with, let's make it work. So I'll put a snippet of the podcast on. Again, just have a think about yourself. How much control do I need? If I'm trying to over control everything, is it detrimental to what I'm trying to achieve? If I'm not using enough control, do I need to have a bit more control and direction about where I'm going? There is a balance, but enjoy the story. I did selection with the TRG, and back in those days at the sort of military training areas that the regiment guys use and stuff, so it's out in the middle of nowhere. I actually got through it was a week-long selection at the time, so I got through that, a lot of bumbling through stories and not really knowing what was coming up. At the time, and I think the regiment here in WA was similar, where they wouldn't give you anything when you're going to selection. So TRD was the same, like you know nothing, just go and we'll throw it at you and you'll find out. So I did that first selection. I do remember the first, we got driven out into this middle of nowhere training camp in a bus in the dark at midnight. Windows are all blacked out, watches are gone, no idea what's happening. And we had packs. So I had my pack, and they'd go, first thing they did was yell us to get off the bus, line up, throw your packs in a line. So we throw our packs in a line in the dark, run across 50 metres to the left, line up. Now knowing that, there was people watching us from the bushes and all sorts, at the time it's like, I don't know what's going on. So we lined up for, we probably lined up for 40 minutes just in the silence in the dark. And then me being one of the foolish ones, just wandered off into the bushes to have a bit of a relieve yourself, and then wander back while they're all studying us. But then we get these barking orders out of nowhere, like, grab your packs, let's go. And we're like, oh my God, where's my pack? And this is a bundle of packs. Police probably a little bit different to military, where we don't live with packs every day, and we don't. It's not necessarily our thing. So I thought I had my pack pretty sorted, but unfortunately I got some other guy's pack who's I was basically doing up straps as I walked for the next hour and a half.
Bloody hell.
So yeah, but bumbled through that, got through selection and onto the waiting list for TRG. And it was a pretty much a time when no one was leaving TRG for the next couple of years. So end up on a waiting list for TRG for probably 1.5, 2 years, and then they said, all right, we're cutting the list. It's been too long. You guys can apply again. So sure enough, stubbornly applied again. Knew a bit more about what was going on the next time. So still just as painful, but enjoyed it a bit more and knew what was happening, and got through that one and ended up in the unit for 15 years with a bit of a undercover stint in the middle there.